As we all know, one of the problems with selling is that we tend to sell to ourselves, not to other people. The problem with that is we know our own motivations for buying, but we don't understand what the other person's motivations are. It doesn't matter whether you're selling products, services, visions, or just an idea. We need to look inside the other person's head and find out what the motivations are for them to buy what we're offering. We're going to take you through an exercise here called the 4C exercise. And the purpose of this is to get some idea of what the other people involved in the purchase or the decision are using to make their minds up. I've done this exercise myself in places ranging from a boardroom with a number of people watching as a full formal review inside my own office, right the way through to in the car park, in my car, just before I go and visit somebody. In both cases, it's equally effective. In both cases, I go through the same sequence. So I'll hand over now to Eve Luca, who'll take us through the exercise.
Notice that we have 2 chairs set up here facing each other. This will be first position, this is second position, third position will be standing off in front of the 2 chairs, and fourth position will be back here. Trevor, are you ready to do first position?
I am, thank you very much.
Okay, have a seat, get yourself comfortable. Is there a particular business issue that you're having difficulty with? That you'd like some resolution?
Yes, I'm a general manager of a software house, and I've got a little bit of a problem with the head of customer services. I've asked him to look at reducing his costs a lot because times are tough at the moment, and I've asked him to see whether or not we can use a voice response unit at night, close down the call centre after about 6, 6:30, something like that, and let people talk about their problems, and then we can get back to them in the morning. There's a bit of a problem because he just doesn't get what I'm trying to tell him to do.
Okay, so that sounds like something you need some insight on.
Yes, it would help me enormously.
Okay, well, you look pretty relaxed.
I am.
Think about the last interaction you had with your customer services manager.
It was last Thursday, I think.
Last Thursday, nice sunny day.
It was.
Okay, in an office, imagine the room you were in.
Yep, yep. I'm there.
Remember how you were feeling as you were having your interaction, your discussion.
Frustrated.
What did you see? What did you see across from you as you were talking to the customer services manager? What did you hear? What did you feel? And what were you thinking about it? Take all that in.
Okay.
Replay that completely and fully.
Yep. No, I'm there. I can see me talking to him. I'm there.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Stand up.
Stand up.
Spell Ottawa backwards, please.
ATTOWA.
Okay. What I did just there was a break state. And what's important about that is to take the person out of that maybe anxious sort of state they were in so they can start to think about things from a more positive perspective. So Trevor, did you get any insights or learnings from
Yeah, it was
that
amazing.
piece of the exercise?
Very interesting. Now you've asked me to really think about it. I'm pretty much driven by finance. That's my background, and that's really all I was talking about in that meeting.
Okay.
And all the meetings that we've had. So that's been quite useful.
Okay, awesome. Are you ready to move into second position?
I am.
Second position is this chair.
Okay.
In second position, that's good, relax. In second position, the idea is to take on the persona of the person with whom you're having the issue.
Oh, well, he's not very
All
relaxed.
right.
He's a bit of a kind of.
That's right. Sit like he sits, tilt your head.
yes.
Does he sit up straight? Does he clench his teeth? What does he do with his hands? The idea here is to take him on so that you can see things from his perspective.
I think I can see how he's thinking now.
And the important thing is now you want to be thinking from his perspective. So as the customer service manager, you say, I as a customer service manager,
Okay. That's
what I see, what I hear, what I feel, with all my business pressures on me, this is where I'm coming from. That's wherein lies the power of the second position.
Blimey. Yep. It's a bit different, isn't it? I know the guy pretty well. I can see when I'm him, life's a little bit different.
Okay. And now you're him dealing with the you in first position.
I can see myself over there, yeah.
Good. Okay, up. Can
Not
you,
all over again.
can you spell cart backwards?
Car, R-A-C, that's
Carp.
easy.
Fish. Okay, again a break state because we want Trevor to be in Did you get any insights or understandings or learnings?
Very weird. He comes from a background of the customer's always right. What I did when I was him. It's amazing. He's not really terribly motivated by finance. He's motivated in looking after the customers. I'm really glad I appointed him, but it's a very different view of the world.
Okay. Terrific.
Great, thank you.
Third
Are we
position.
finished? Oh, there's
We're
more.
not There's third position. I invite you to stand up and stand right here.
Okay.
Now, third position is right in front of the two chairs. You're a neutral, impartial observer.
Okay.
And imagine that this is your customer services manager, and over here is Trevor.
Okay.
And you're imagining watching them have this interaction from a completely impartial stance.
Last Thursday.
Last Thursday.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. And watch how their interaction is going. Is somebody talking and the other and not listening as much?
Yeah, I can see straight away. I'm getting the hang of this now. First of all, he's using a lot more words than he is. But I can also see that he's showing a lot more anxiety than I think was ever denoted by him, me, Trevor over there. So that's interesting. And he seems to be using numbers to describe what he's talking about. And he's talking an awful lot more about feelings and success and people being loyal. And it's very interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting.
And so, as an impartial observer, then you might be able to give each of them some advice. Not that you'll do that now, but that's something that you'll.
No, I can
you'll
see some
consider.
advice straight away. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right. That's awesome. Do you know how many light bulbs are in the ceiling?
I haven't a clue. They look like fluorescent.
Okay. Yeah. Again, a break state. And any other insights that you just gave me?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think probably the main thing for me is that he needs to think a bit more about the numbers and he needs to think a bit more about the feelings.
Okay.
It sounds trite, but it hasn't been clear to me before. Where would you like me to go now?
Now I would like you to take a couple of steps over. That's good, right there. You're at an angle. The fourth position is at an angle, looking at the two chairs. Again, you'll see the two people in the two chairs. And your position now is somebody who is going to be affected by whatever the outcome of this interaction.
I want the company to stay together, which is the finance side, but on the other hand, I think there's a few customers who would leave and help the company to go under if we were not looking after them at night.
Okay.
So I think the customer's an interesting perspective here. Do you want me to try another one?
I do want you to try another one. Who else in the company? Are there other?
Oh, somebody within the company. Okay. Well, maybe I guess the engineers who actually have to do the support.
Okay.
Thinking about it, an engineer is probably, because I was an engineer a long time ago, an engineer would be more likely to do a good job of support when the problem was hot than being called up by I think the computers phone them up the next morning and tell them about the problem. So I'm beginning to see there's some other things to this that he didn't understand before.
Okay. Other effects on the system?
Well, there's the two main things. I think it's the people who do it and the people that's affected.
Okay. That is terrific. Now, what we just did was go through the four positions, and
Shall I go back?
I'd like you to come back into first position. And having gone through that exercise, is there anything else you want to share? From a business perspective.
I think the main thing that I got out of this is related to the difference of motivations. His every motivation is to keep the customers happy, and I'm really pleased that we've got the guy we've got. But he has a misunderstanding of my motivations, which quite rightly I think are financial. So I think what we need to do is sit down together and put that on the table and share that a bit more, and maybe pull in some of the other people who are going to be involved. So that's really been great, thank you. There are three things you need to take away from this. Go and try it. Go and try it with your friends, with your colleagues, in professional situations, in personal situations. Secondly, try all four positions. Do it in your head, do it physically with chairs, and I'm a big fan of doing it with chairs. Go and try all four positions. And informally, with yourself, in the car park that I mentioned earlier on, or with a group of people, look at what the insights are and make a decision about how you're going to approach it differently. If you do that, you will find that this is a much better way of approaching the sale than the traditional ways.